Hey, I'm Grant. Welcome to Stay the Channel for August 20th. I'm over here and sit at my desk because if you can't hear it, it's raining out and it makes everything over there impossibly dark. So I can't film. So I guess a little update this week. It's going to be the podcast. I'm hoping to do a fun little one with just Andrew and I want to try, and this is my way of saying, committing to this, is I want to try and make just 2D, well obviously 2D, but like a 8-bit, I guess, version of Andrew and me, like going based off of the original like Mario style, maybe more like a Mario 3, something like that. I feel like that'd be fun and just like a little bit more artistic, like something different than just like putting my face on stuff. Like I feel like the thumbnails are always last minute, and I want to get them to be something I do ahead of time more often, and that's first try this, like something a little more interesting and something that's a little bit like I just make it ahead of time. Because that would be the ideal case, where if I knew, even if I didn't know who was going to be on, I just had a selection of, here's like 7 just shopped images of Andrew and I. So anytime it's just me and him, pull one of those out. Or this is the one where it's Andrew, Jamie, and I. Okay, here's one of the ones for that. Or this is the one I use that has, I guess, just me. If for some reason I have like a guest on and I don't have the ability to get like a photo, something like that. So otherwise, this week, other stuff I've been working on is I had an idea I want to do for like a short, like a little live action short. I'm looking into doing some stuff like that. It's something I wanted to actually spend some time on because I don't know, I just feel like that's something I've always really liked the idea of. And I don't think it's going to be much. I think it's very much going to be mediocre, like 5 out of 10. But the point isn't that it's going to be good. The point is that I'm able to make it. Because like, there's a lot of things, and even just recording this, where you don't realize it's something you need to do until you see the problems you get for not doing it. So like, right now, it's like, I always record Stay the Channel over at my desk, but I can't do that because of the weather. Well, man, I wish I actually had some good lights to deal with that. Like, I have the podcast ones, but they're a pain to kind of set up, and they might be a little bit of overkill. So I'm just looking around and maybe seeing stuff like that, or how do I record audio? Like right now, one of the things I'm doing is I normally record Stay the Channel using a microphone. I don't have it on right now because I'm a ways away from my phone. So how am I going to do that for like a little live action thing? I don't want to use just the built-in phone mic because in this apartment there's a lot of like room noise, or like for example you'd have to deal with stuff like the rain outside. But on the other hand, I never want to be the guy who's like, I'm going to do this and then just like drops a bunch of money on something when you're getting into a hobby. So it's not like I'm going to go like, okay, I need multiple boom mics, I need like all these special lights that can be held and like angled. I don't want to do that. I don't want to come across as that guy. So I'm trying to figure out a good way to do that without also sinking a ton of money while still making decent quality. I think that's like the thing. Like the main thing I noticed is it's usually pretty obvious to tell when like something's filmed on a phone like this is, and maybe trying to understand why that is, like how to make something a little more cinematic. And then once I've made this video, go back and see like, okay, why, compared to like other stuff that I would watch, why is mine not like that? Like why do they do like small cuts that I don't? Do they do things like set up a scene or what have you? I don't know. It's something I just want to kind of try. It's probably not going to happen till at least next week is when I'll do it probably, because I got the podcast this week. If I am lucky and get that filmed on Monday. But it's something I definitely want to try and get out there. I do have time. I'm hoping this week, probably Monday night when the podcast stuff is I guess converting. I don't know. This is something I always heard the term, like I used to say converting because I'm converting it from one format to another. I think the actual term is like transcoding. That's a thing that is an option in my editor, but I don't really know what it means. So while it's doing that, I want to sit down and just actually storyboard it out. Specifically since I'm doing all that stuff for like drawing as well, where I'll just like do these doodles. I say doodles, but they're like more involved. I want to actually try and storyboard it, like actually sketch something out. Like it'll be super simple, but it's just kind of like bringing all this stuff together. And I think that'd be kind of a nice thing to do. And I'm looking forward to it. But I'm looking forward to it, but it's also, whenever I take on a project like that, it's like a big, you can just tell like, there's going to be a ton of hurdles from A to B. You don't know what they are yet, but you know they're coming. That's what the podcast basically was when I made it. Where it's like, I don't know the issues that I'm going to have, but I know they're there. I know I'm going to this is going to blow up, this is going to blow up. Don't know how, don't know why, but I know I'm going to have to deal with it. And that's what this kind of feels like right now. Otherwise, I think that's just about it. I'm also trying to be like super active on Twitter. Like that's a new thing I'm trying to do. And maybe even move that into something with the channel. I don't really have any motives. I just feel like it was like I was more into like that kind of social media thing as like a kid, and I guess like I don't like how much Reddit and like sites like that kind of took over all that same meaning. I don't know how to say that, so I'm trying to like actually go on like Twitter and like I'm gonna post something interesting. And so I've been trying to do that. I want to do some stuff with the channel where something that actually has like quality behind it and value like the podcast does. But if you want to tweet me, you can do so over there. My handle is @takenumber4grantd, and my email is grant@takenumber4grantd.com. So yeah, I guess that's it for this week. Just still crunching out on that website. It takes forever. I've been on the same chapter. I did like 2 hours on it today and just like barely crawled through it. It's pretty tough. But I'm hoping, again, I'd like to get through that by the end of August. So I think next week after the podcast, if I'm not doing a bunch of stuff for that live action little thing, I might just have to sit down. I'm going to crunch super hard on that and just get it done, get it out, and actually make my own website. That's going to be super fun. But it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of time for sure. But again, I'm Grant. I'll be back again next week.